Welcome to Loose Mesh, the Lacrosse podcast, the place where the tape's off, the gloves are off, and the stories come straight from the barn. From rookie bus rides to championship runs, we're breaking down the game with the players, the legends, and the voices that live it. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a pro chasing rings, grab a cold one, string up the stick, and let's get loose.
We have Nolan Byrne, Nolan from Gloucester, Ontario, committed to Lafayette, 6'3", 190-pound forward from the Georgia Swarm. Nolan, thanks for joining us this week, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me. It's an honor, that's for sure. I appreciate it.
So we'll hop right into it here. Drafted 8th overall in the first round by Georgia. Like, how crazy has the last little bit been for you and the start of the season and everything after the draft and leading up to the season?
Oh, it's honestly been so cool. Even like I'm seeing some of my buddies like that I haven't seen for like a couple months now, and they're like, "Well, what have you been up to?" It's like my life's changed in the last couple months. Like I went from sitting around working construction at home, and now I'm flying around every weekend playing games in front of big crowds. So it's been really cool. And the draft day specifically was really cool. I had couple of my closest family members and a couple of my buddies over for the draft, and then we did a little draft party at my house afterwards where I got to see some of my older friends and some of my brother's buddies, and people from all around came over. So it was a really cool experience.
When did it really hit you that you're official an NLL player with Georgia?
Probably the draft. The draft was really cool. But yeah, honestly, it's still a surreal thing to me as well. Like just talking to like my buddies who are going to work or something the next day. I'm like, yeah, I'm flying to Georgia to go play in a lacrosse game in front of like 6,000 people. So it's been pretty cool.
What was it also like playing your first game against Buffalo Bandits too? Like that one goal. I still remember that goal, dive across the crease, scoring on Vino, who's probably double your age.
Yeah. He's over double my age, I think. I'm 21, so he's over 20. Oh my.
That's not saying much for me because I'm a year younger than Vino, for Christ's sakes here. So that was a double shot, man. Like that's just
veterans.
Catching ricochet.
Everyone needs a veteran presence. This podcast needs a veteran presence.
I like to call us seasoned. We're seasoned vets.
There you go. But no, that game was
kind of bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
That game was definitely. I mean, it's one thing to play in an NLL game and have your first game, but to play in front of like almost 20,000 people in front of a sold out crowd, like that was just like I couldn't even fathom it. Like I remember when the anthem was going on, I was like looking around, I was like, holy man, this is crazy. But it was, I mean, I love that kind of environment. I mean, I couldn't even tell if it was a home game or away game. Like they're cheering like crazy. Honestly, the craziest thing that I remember from that whole game was after I'd scored that goal, I like looked up to the ref and he said it was a goal. I didn't think it was a goal because it was the quietest that the rink was all night. No one cheered the whole time. I was hearing them score and the crowd go crazy, and I scored and it was dead silent. So that was pretty funny for our first experience.
Well, Minto rules it'd be 50-50. Who knows what happened at this year's Minto?
Yeah.
So kind of leading up to what got you into the NLL, kind of. You started in junior B, and so did I. I played for the Green Gales. You were obviously in Gloucester. I realized at a young age that like junior B was a lot tougher and it was a lot more physical, and it kind of prepared me for the next level going into junior A the following year. Like, what did junior B teach you, and how did that kind of evolve your game a little bit moving into the junior A level?
Honestly, everyone that has ever asked me, I say junior B was probably the most fun I've had playing lacrosse. I love playing junior B, and my brother is 2 years older than me, and I always grew up never having the chance to play with him on the off year. So it was really cool to be able to play with him finally, and all of his friends that I've known forever. And we just had like such a tight group, and we had such a good like locker room environment. It was just such a blast to go to the rink. And the junior B play specifically, some would call it a dog fight, but it was always a good time to go to the rink. Definitely starting in my younger ages, my first year or two there, was definitely getting targeted a little bit as I started to rack up a couple points, but the team would always keep me safe, and you learn to to be targeted, and you learn to be having a target on your back. So I'm happy that it was something that I was able to learn at a younger age and in my junior B careers. Definitely something that I'll keep going towards in my career, and hopefully at some point having a target in my back in the NLL and being a player respected as I was then.
When you talk to people around the league, they're still like you're still coming together as a player. You know, you're still young, 21 years old, as we just learned half Vino's age, but you're still growing. And I know from the talk from Brampton going to Whitby, the kind of talk was there is like, he hasn't had a lot of coaching, but you succeeded there your first year at Whitby. What was it? What makes you such a different player?
Honestly, I can't even put that much on myself. I think that I played for mainly played for 3 different organizations in junior, and all of them were just like such great environments. Like I've only played for a year in Brampton, but I had a great time playing in Brampton, and things shook out the way they did. But like anywhere that I've left, I left on like great terms. And what I'm getting at here is like everywhere I've played for, it's been credit to the team and the coaching staff and the ownership staff and everyone who allowed me to succeed and put trust in me to succeed. Like in Brampton, my first year, like I was just a junior B kid, and I like walked in the first day of training camp, and they were like, "Yeah, like we want you to be like one of our guys. Like you're on the power play first game." So that was definitely like a really cool experience. And same with that I've had in Georgia, like just the coaches putting so much trust in me and allowing me to do my thing and giving me opportunities to succeed. So everywhere that I've went that I've succeeded has been due to the environment around me for sure.
So kind of just touching on coaches and ownership groups and managements having trust in you. Obviously this past summer, like Joel Watson made a big push for you to get you into Whitby because like we all knew that they were going to make or try and make a Minto Cup run. When you got to Whitby, like did you kind of feel a little bit of that responsibility or did that kind of like the leadership wise and knowing that like the offense was going to go through you and Lucas. So did you feel that right away, or is that something that kind of just grew together with you guys and grew over time?
I think that they put me in the perfect position where they didn't throw everything on me and say you need to be our guy, but they also like obviously put some pressure on me. Like we went out of our way and we sent a lot away to get you. So obviously we want you to do well here, and it worked out obviously, and we had a good season. But no, like even like I said before, like just there wasn't a need for me to walk in and be the captain on the first day. Like they already had a very good veteran leadership on the team. Like I think I was like the 14th or 15th, fifth year on the team at that point. Like when I got traded there. So like obviously there was a very strong veteran presence, and we had amazing captains and assistant captains. And honestly, like they put me in the position that I wanted to be in. They didn't put me in a position where they were asking too much or too little of me. So that was definitely what made the transition to Whitby so effective for me.
Thanks, Steve Govett. I have always said that if you guys had like Lucas Littlejohn and Lucas Robinson, and there was one more, who was the other one that went to Jack Goldman? If you guys had those three, you're getting past Northman. Like those three,
like
three
so many
massive
people
pieces.
talk on that topic, and I don't think I've ever talked on it publicly. But like you can't hate on someone for going to play for your country. Like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and for
100%.
some people, hopefully not, but some people it might be their only opportunity to play for Canada. So I mean, if I had the opportunity, it'd definitely be something I would consider. So
I don't blame it on them. I blame it on the scheduling. Like,
yeah, there's
how do you put 2 tournaments? Like,
the sad part is as you're saying, like it's a no brainer. Like it's honestly a no brainer. You go and you play for your country 8 days a week, right? Like, but it's just the fact that they put this decision on people that do even have the ability to make. That's the stupid part. Again, I've known Lucas basically his whole life. And it's like you talk to Frankie, and obviously Nolan, Frankie, he gets all fired up about it, and he's like, "Oh fuck yeah, fuck how, why they even fucking let him do it, blah blah." And it's like it was just dumb, and it's like I said it at the very start. It's just kind of like lacrosse getting in lacrosse's own way again.
Yeah, it's definitely at that point is. I don't want to be pointing fingers here, but no, the scheduling definitely wasn't wasn't too beneficial towards growing the sport of lacrosse at that point in time, I would say.
So kind of speaking of Lucas, obviously, you know, he was a league scoring champion. Like what did that partnership kind of mean to you, and how, like, it kind of seemed like the compatibility was almost instantaneous, right? Like you guys, obviously, like being a Whitby guy, like I watched a lot of games. Like you guys just clicked right from the start. Like what is it about Lucas and your styles that just seemed to mesh like so conveniently?
I think that he's just like an extremely good passer, and he has very good vision for the game. And at the time in Brampton, I took like probably like 15, 20 shots a game, and like it was just like all goal scoring, and like a lot less of my game was directed towards playmaking. So I think playing with a very effective playmaker just leveled up my game so much greater, and having another really good player to play with just elevated, I would say, both of our games, and allowed us both to have very good seasons. So I think that just, I mean, it's pretty simple to say, but good players play well together. So it was, I mean, and he was a very good player. So it was very fun to play for the team. It's not like it was a two-headed offense we had. Like we had a ton of studs up front, and we had guys who showed up for certain games when I wasn't there and when Lucas wasn't there, and we had guys like, I didn't play for the whole Beaches series and playoffs, and we did extremely well in that series, and we toughed one out there, and we made it to the third round in the finals. So like it wasn't just me, it wasn't just Lucas, it wasn't just one person or this guy. Like our whole team was kind of one unit, and we were a very deep team, I'd say.
You had 61 goals, 5 assists. Scorer, playmaker, or just reading the defense? What gives it to you?
I'd say I'd love to say all three. I think that my best suit is probably goal scoring, but just my teammates allowed me, like I could make such an average pass to someone, they happen to score, I get an assist on it. Like that's just the way it works, I guess sometimes. But yeah, I'd say probably my highest skill would be goal scoring.
Frick, did you see his goal this past weekend? Like the last like games you played, man, like the one in Buffalo, the one in Edmonton this past week, like just nuts. And then the one before that against the Mammoth, where he just like walked through the whole entire defense. I was like, that was the highlight of the game, because I swear I fell asleep 4 times watching it because it was boring.
I feel like him and Bushi might have a side bet to see who can score with the least amount of feet on the ground this year. Like it's you're absolutely loving the dives and the ability to crease dive. Like is that something, like growing up, like you watch the NL? Like I know I did. I was never good enough to get close enough to the crease to do it, but I was always like, you know, it was so cool to be able to watch. Like for me, again, I'm old, I get it. Caleb Toth jumping through the crease, or Kimbo Squires, or even Casey Powell back in the day. Like as a kid, like is that something that you watched on TV? Like, fuck, man, I can't wait to be able to score these wicked diving crease goals from behind and doing air gates and shit like that.
Oh, certainly. Just growing up, all I'd watch was just old highlights of players, and like just watching like every player you can imagine, even like in junior, watching like Josh Byrne fly around, all kinds of people do different things. And even like the other day, I was watching like the 2017, just the most random like game in 2017, just because I just love watching like film of old games and stuff, and like trying to pick apart different guys' games, and like something like not only just like watching specific player highlights, but just watching like even some random player that played 15 years ago. It could have been his only game in the league. He scored a nasty goal. It's a nasty goal. Like I love just watching random players do whatever they can to put the ball in the net and trying to pick their game apart, add it to mine.
I'm gonna do a little family horn toot here. If you want to see a nasty, random, out of nowhere crease dive goal, go look up Mitch McMichael, and it's the goal against Calgary. It's the second goal ever, and it is literally one of the nastiest on the run transition crease dives that you'll ever, like, no reason to ever crease dive in this scenario, but he did it, and he pulled it off, and it against nasty. He's my brother, so obviously I'm gonna hype him up, but it's nasty. Like it's absolutely nasty.
All right, I'll give that a search.
So you hit 50 goals in junior A, and only like the very, very few guys hit the 50 goals. Like, well, what kind of separates the 50 goal scorers in junior A? Like, what are you seeing? When do you feel like you're hot? Like, you know, like it's a pretty big feat to hit.
I'd say like it's an easy exit to this answer, but just consistently scoring, obviously, like being a consistent scorer and playing on the power play and having a high amount of opportunities in each game. Like if you're a good goal scorer and you get put in a good position like I was, like that you should succeed. And I was lucky enough to succeed. But I'd say definitely having a good team around you and having good passes around you. And it's not all about passes too. Like you need especially in junior, like it's hard to take guys one-on-one because you get to the crease and you can't dive, you can't do anything. And over top, the defenses are always good and the nets are smaller, so it's harder to score an outside goal. So I feel like a lot of the junior goal scoring game is in the picks and having good pick setters, big, strong guys who can pick and roll off of them. And I had some of those throughout my whole career. So I was lucky enough to get a lot of points and goals and assists off of just other people's hard work.
You don't shy away from like the physicality side of the game, and playing within the edge is kind of a part of your identity. What aspect of that do you give off to other people that makes you succeed?
I would say, it's definitely a big step up going into the NLL and playing against that man strength that you hear about. But in junior, I definitely used my size to my ability sometimes. And if I had a smaller or younger guy that I knew was less strong than me, I'd definitely try and go at him and do what I could to beat a guy in a one-on-one matchup. Like anything, bigger athletic guys are obviously gonna give themselves more opportunities to get to the net and stuff like that. But I've been doing my best to translate it to the NLL, and I've had some success so far. But definitely could put on some pounds and get bigger and definitely put myself in a better position to do that to some of the bigger guys in the league, which I'm excited for in the future.
What defender do you not want to play against right now?
I'm just gonna go and say none. I'm just excited to go at whoever I can.
He's feeling himself right now. He's feeling himself right now.
I'm not a guy really. I'm not really a guy who would specifically just look at someone who's like, oh, this is this guy. I'm going at him. Like when I'm playing, honestly, there's not a lot going through my mind.
Going at everybody. I'm going at everybody.
Trying to put myself in a position to, to get doubled and move the ball or get by someone. So not often. Sometimes, obviously, but not often do I look at a guy and be like, oh, maybe not that guy, maybe not that.
See, we thought we were gonna, hey Doss, we thought we were gonna catch the young guy with some of these answers and some of these questions, and maybe sneak the media trading in Georgia is top tier right now. Are you sitting with Lyle and Riggs, or how are you coming across like a 10-year vet right now? This is ridiculous.
They taught me.
I thought we were in for gold.
My apologies. I'm disappointing.
No. It's all good, man. I've been told by a close friend that played on Wimpy. You said you pretty much played hurt the entire playoff series with Wimpy. How banged up were you actually?
I had a grade 1 tear in my quad that I sustained in game 4 of the first round. So I got that, I think, in the second period of game 4. And then I played out that game. Well, I actually scored in overtime in that game. And that was a elimination game. So, I mean, at that point, I was like, I'm just going to play through. This could be our last game of the season. And then game 5 came around, and I was like, well, what am I not going to play this time? It's another elimination game. So I played that game as well. We played a real good game that game. Took the series, and then I took the Beaches series off to go get a MRI of my quad to see what was actually wrong and see, could I fully tear this and risk my NLL season coming up and my draft stock and everything. And then I got that back. It was a partial grade 1 tear in my right quad, which most would probably not recommend playing on, but I still played. I wouldn't say that I was too happy with my performance in the finals, but I did what I could at the time being on a leg and a half. But I think we put a really good fight to them, and we were missing a couple guys due to the circumstances. But I think the guys over there definitely put a good fight, and I think we could have won, but definitely put up a good fight.
So take us back to that game 4 OT winner. Like, what are you seeing right before the ball goes in the net? Or like, do you just kind of black out and say, fuck it, like I'm tired, I want to go home, I'm going to the rack and we're gonna finish this?
No, actually, that was probably one of the more technical goals that I scored all year. I was pretty proud of that one. I tended to beat my guy underneath, and even like I've done in the NLL, is reach far side high on like a jump where I jump and reach far side high. I had done that to the goaltender 2 or 3 times throughout the game already. So I knew he'd be biting on it, so I jumped up to go far side high, and I tucked it just 5-hole when he was going up high. I tucked it low, so. That'd be one of the more technical goals that I probably scored all year, but I was pretty proud of that one. So most goals, sometimes I just black out and stuff happens. The ball ends up in the net. People cheer after, but that one was more technical.
Let's jump over to Orangeville, the 4-3 overtime win, and then the horn still goes down to a fan. What sparked that?
Frick loved that, by the way. Like, that is right in my wheelhouse. I love that. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, I had to. No, the fans, well, their fans were yipping all game, and I had a couple buddies in the stands too. They were cheering me on, so I had a little bit of extra energy going. That was the game actually that we broke the glass in the rink. So some people broke it. I won't say who. It was broken in the stands by someone. After Tapper scored
they were from Orangeville. Like the Whippy town guys. They told me that those guys were from Orangeville. I don't know.
Well, they were from Orangeville, we'll say. But yeah, and Tapper scored his nasty goal behind the back. The crowd went wild, and that was tied up. And then in overtime, they were yipping. I was hearing stuff from the crowd all game, and the other bench was giving it to me right as I was walking on to go on the floor on that shift. So I was a little fired up and told the crowd maybe it was time to go home after the game. So it was pretty exciting.
Okay, so let's talk about after the game now. Right, obviously I'm Whitby guy. I live down the street from Pad 1. Been to the Griffin a couple different times here. Right? Without getting yourself into any shit, what can you tell us about that night? What went down at the Griff?
A couple of soda pops, maybe a couple orders of wings, and went to bed early.
Yeah. Media training in Jordan. You got to give me this person's number, man. I obviously need a little refining myself. So
no, we had a good time. My buddies were in town too. They made it down from Ottawa, so we had a good time. We had a good little celebration. But it was obviously business first too. Like we had another big game coming up, but we definitely enjoyed the moment.
So speaking of your buddies that always made the trip, right? So obviously we're up sitting in what me and Big Watsy have conveniently coined alumni corner now. And every single game, the boys with the backward jerseys would roll up the stairs, and I was telling Doss before the pod, like they were obnoxious, but in a good way. Like they were over loud, over cheering, but like in a good way. So like tell us about those boys. Give them a little shout out, because as I was saying to Dawson, like they were at every single game. Every single game in Pad 1 that I was at, they were there.
They were at like pretty much all of the playoff games they made their way down to. But that's actually the one was my brother, who's older than me. He's probably one of my biggest supporters my whole career. He was actually what I was talking about earlier. He was my pick guy in junior B. He was my pick guy. And my stand-up for you guy, whenever the big guys would come after me, he'd be the one in front of me. So he loves it. And then the other guy, it's Connor Finnis. He's like one of my best friends too, but he just loves it as well. So him and my brother would always come down to the games and have a good time, and maybe also have a couple soda pops before entering the arena, and they enjoyed themselves. They're probably number 1 and number 2 supporters of the year.
Maybe a couple in the arena.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly.
I met him a couple times out in the parking lot, and like just all around good dudes. Like, and for you to say that they're your biggest supporters is kind of underselling it, because the way that they would talk about you when you're not around, it was, as an older brother, it was really heartwarming. So like, I just want to give a shout out to those guys, because they kept a smile on old Uncle Frick's face most of the time that I seen him, and that's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Yeah. Well, no, they're unreal. Definitely my number one supporters, and I owe a lot of the confidence that I have to them, probably.
All right, so present day here, you land in Georgia. Like, what kind of stood out about the organization right away?
I'd say honestly, I think it's extremely well run organization. Even like our first day we go in, where there's like this brand new, like one of the nicest hotels I've ever been in, like basically attached to the rink. And so it's a super, super nice hotel, and they treat you really well there. And then you walk like 1 minute outside, like 100 meters maybe, and then you're in the rink. And then we got a super nice room, and we have a whole nutrition area and film area and everything. Like everyone treats us really well there. And honestly, I have nothing but good stuff to say about my experience so far.
Nicer than the J-Dub?
Little maybe.
Matt, that do you know that place is like $800 a night, man, to stay there? Like, when I found out you guys were staying there, I'm like, okay, and now
we get treated well. We definitely get treated well.
What's been the biggest difference between junior defenders and NL defenders?
I'd say, kind of like I said earlier, it's just like the man strength that like some of these guys have. It's just like not replicatable to like junior. I'm playing against some like 17-year-olds in junior, and then in the NLL I'm playing against like 35-year-olds who are like so strong. Another thing I'd say was like a lot of block shots. They do a lot better of a job of blocking shots in the NLL, and I found some of my biggest struggle so far this year is getting shots on net, because like I've had a lot of shots blocked. Like every game I'm having a couple shots blocked. So just little adjustments to learn and to reach over guys and reach around guys is definitely something I could work on, and I think something that's definitely one of the biggest differences. Also, the another thing that I've noticed compared to junior is kind of the crease diving. And like you said, I think I've scored one goal this year that I wasn't in the air for.
Oh, it's
like I have one shot that went in, the rest of the crease dive.
crazy.
But obviously, I've been able to capitalize on that so far. But that was just something I was most excited for, was coming into the league and being able to crease dive. So that's been really cool.
What you talk about shot blocking? What's your thoughts on that rule, the new rule that Dane brought in?
I think that it's definitely interesting. I think that it just puts the refs in a really hard position, because it's like they already have so much to think about. So if they miss it on one play and then like they call it another one, they just get ripped because they missed it on the last one. But like they already have so much on their plates. I think that it's like almost too much for the refs to like do at a time. I think that, I don't know, it's definitely interesting. I don't know how I feel about it personally. Obviously I don't think that they should just be able to like have 4 guys stand in front of the net on a penalty kill or something like that. But it's definitely hard to referee. I'd definitely say Shane Jackson and Lyle have done, and even Brian Cole, like even like pretty much all of them have done a really good job of making sure that I'm in the mix and I'm going out for dinners with them, and they don't care that I'm a rookie. Like they'll invite me over to play cards or whatever. Like they, like everyone, specifically like Shane Jackson, have done a really good job. And I've learned so much from the veteran like leaders on our offense already. Like I feel like I've already added like 3 or 4 new shots to my bag, and like just understanding the way that they even just like carry their lives out as like an athlete, and like recovery and like what they do to be able to still play at, like, this isn't a trip at them at the age that they are, to still play at such a high level. Like they're obviously doing a lot to keep their body going and recover after games and stuff like that.
Who has whose number in practice? You or Brett Dobson?
I'd say it goes back and forth. Definitely, there's definitely some chirps that are flying in practice. Sometimes I score on him, or he probably saves more than I score on him, but he'll let me hear it when he saves it, and I'll let him hear it when I score.
Is Jacko not one of the funniest fucks you've ever met in your life?
Well, probably one of the funniest. For sure.
Jacko's hilarious.
Just like an unreal human being, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, just like such a good guy, and such like a good leader to have on your team, and on your like to play the same position as him, and like for him to take me under his wing, it's just like been so cool.
All right, Doss, you got any more for him before we get into some rapid fire? No problem. All right, we're here with Rapid Fire by Loading Lacrosse. The new Tonka head from Loading Lacrosse is built like a truck. Like if you put wheels on this thing, it might pass emissions. For defenders who enjoy causing property damage, this is your head. Use Tonka 9.5 on all items at Loading Lacrosse. What's your favorite arena to play in?
In the NLL?
Ever. Anywhere.
Probably Buffalo. I'll have to say. To play in front of a crowd like that, like, doesn't matter if they're cheering for you, against you. Like, just to play in front of an environment like that and to, like, know that lacrosse is capable of bringing that many fans in, especially as, like, my first game, was definitely a really cool experience.
I feel like you might have already answered this, but I want to hear if there's a different one. Best goal you've ever scored?
Best goal I've ever scored. It was probably in junior. It was against Oakville when I was in Brampton. I beat a guy underneath and I cut across the crease and I kind of jumped and dove and hit a one-handed dunk on, like, probably one of the tallest goalies in the league. So I say that one was pretty cool. I like that one.
I need to find this clip.
Orangeville OT goal or St. Kitts OT goal? Which one meant more?
I'm going to go St. Kitts just because it was, like, such a crazy occurrence to happen, and just a win out of way, and, like, our season was on the line. It was like anything could happen. So definitely I'd say the St. Kitts game.
Play through injury or sit until you're 100%?
I already answered that one earlier, but play through injury.
Are you a chirp guy or kind of let your stats do the chirping for you?
Well, probably I'd say a mix of both. Sometimes I definitely get into it with guys, but I try my best not to, but I definitely fall victim to chirping some guys sometimes.
All right. And one word Georgia fans should remember about your game.
I'll go for it. I'll say electric. I'll say I just love electric.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's bang on through what are we, 6 games in? You're bang on so far. So
17
my
points.
favorite thing to do is just do whatever I can to put the ball in the net. So if I can do that in a creative way and make people like it, that's what I'll do. It's pretty fun for me.
Before he lets you go, how was this game against Edmonton? Like, you guys go up to a 7-1 lead in the first quarter. What's going through your guys' mind? Point night?
No, I mean, honestly, I'll just say, like, it was definitely just nice to relax. Like, that. I don't mean this in any bad way, but just like to relax on the bench for once. I feel like every game we've had was just like a dogfight and like just goal after goal going back and forth and seeing who can squeak it out in the end and be the better team. But to be able to, like, actually just like relax and like enjoy a game and like have fun was definitely, I'd say, something that I hadn't been able to do so far. So that was pretty cool.
And how much is, like, Lyle Thompson meant to you? Like, had a breakout game in Edmonton. I was glad to watch that, but
no, like, it was, I'm like so happy for him to have a game like that and to like get his confidence back. Cause like he's been playing well. It's just like things haven't been going his way. Like, he's still contributing in many places. He's still banging bodies. He's picking up loose balls. Like, even in games where he hasn't put up his like traditional like 10 points or 8 points or whatever, it's like, it's just crazy to say that someone's like expected to put up that every single night. So I'm very happy for him to have that kind of night and get some of his confidence back. And I mean, let's hope to go forward with it.
I feel like Lyle believes in the lacrosse gods enough to know that it wasn't a confidence issue, and at any time he was about to break out, and this was just, it was obviously his time, right? Like, he's way too good to have any kind of confidence issues. It's got to just be like, for him, like, fuck, like, when's this gonna drop for me? Jesus, Murphy.
Yeah, no, it was definitely odd seeing something like that happen, knowing what he's capable of. So I mean, but even in practice, like, he's still scoring like crazy goals in practice, and like it's been so cool to play with him and like still be like in the locker room with them and stuff like that. Like, this is someone I grew up watching like highlights of like over and over again, and now like I can say I've had a beer with him and like say that I'm on the same team as him. Like, just stuff like that's pretty cool.
Hopefully he's scoring the majority of his crazy goals in practice on Dobson, that bum.
Yeah.
Hey, when the next time you run into him, tell him he owes me money out.
All right, I'll let him know. I'll let him know.
You guys screwed us out of so much money in Colorado. I don't even want to get into it right now, how much money you guys fucking screwed us out of. All right. Kangaroo Court should have a little bit. They should have a loose mesh jar. They should have a loose mesh jar in the middle of the thing. Everybody should throw in $5 until you guys fucking at least make us half whole, for Christ's sakes. That was
We'll happen again.
Yeah.
As Brett Thompson said, never bet against him ever again. And I'm not doing it because he's been unreal this year. Unreal.
I did the next week, and it hurt me again. All right, buddy. We'll get out here. We really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for joining us, and have a good luck the rest of your season.
No worries. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.